Hello, children. Okay, now we have to move towards the last part of our chapter, manufacturing industries, that is information technology and electronic industries. And what are the adverse effects of all these industries on the environment and how to overcome these problems. So we are going to deal everything in this video. Now, India has seen telecommunication revolution. Telecommunication revolution. Today, you can pick up phone and talk to anybody anywhere around the world. You can buy and sell things through computers over the internet. Facilities like computerized reservations and ATMs have made our life so easy. So all these are products of the information technology and electronic industry. If these electronic industries and information technology would not have been developed, we would not have been sitting in front of a screen. Okay, I would not have been recording this video, and you would not have been watching the videos what I have recorded for you people. So this is the end result or the final product of information technology and electronic industry. So these things are very important for us today, for today's in today's life. The electronic media is engaged in manufacturing electronic gadgets like radio sets, music players, computers, TV, satellite dishes, and mobile phones. Okay, these are the examples of the electronic gadgets. Bangalore has emerged as the electronic capital of India. So if there's a question, which city is the capital, is the electronic capital of India? Of course, Bangalore. Other main production areas are Delhi, Lucknow, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore, Pune, and Mumbai. The computer software and hardware industry and the services enabled through computerization together form the information technology or IT industry. So what is information technology or IT industry? So the computer software and hardware industry and the services enabled through computerization. So software and hardware which is required for the computer, so industries which produce that, and the services enabled through computerization, both of them together they form information technology or IT industry. The key feature of the IT industry is the employment opportunity it has generated. So why IT industries are important nowadays? Because they generate employment opportunities. A lot of people, they get the jobs and services because of the IT industries. By 2010 and 11, there were around 1 million IT workers in India. The most encouraging aspect is that around 30% of the IT employees were women or are women. Good. The IT industry is also important foreign exchange earner through its software development and business process outsourcing, that is BPO. So further, there are countless big and small companies that operate in the information technology industry. To promote the IT industry, the government of India has set up 18 software technology parks in different cities of India. These software technology parks provide all infrastructure and high data communication services to the companies operating from there. So government is also helping IT industries to develop and ultimately India also is getting developed. Okay, so this was the IT industry and electronical gadgets and information technology industry. Now we are going to deal with the adverse effects created by the industries on the environment. Industries are essential for our economic growth. However, they also cause severe pollution of our natural resources. Environmental degradation due to industrial pollution is a problem faced in all developed and developing parts of the world, and it is problem we can no longer ignore. We cannot ignore this problem which is created by the industries. Ultimately, we are responsible for that. Industries cause environmental degradation through four main types of pollutions. So environmental degradation is caused by industries through four main types of pollutions. Those are air pollution, air, water, soil, and noise pollution. Okay, So let us deal with air pollution. What is it? You must have seen thick smoke billowing from chimneys and factories. This smoke contains undesirable gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and it's carbon monoxide. Okay. Besides solid and liquid particulate matter in the form of dust and spray mist, which cause air pollution. So from the chimneys of the industries, all these hazardous and poisonous gases are emitted. The industries that are mainly responsible for air pollution are paper mills, metal smelting plants, and other industries that burn fossil fuels like coal to generate electricity. Air pollution is not restricted to smoke rising from chimneys. The Bhopal gas tragedy in India was caused by the leakage of deadly gas, methyl isocyanate, okay, from an industry. It is one of the worst man-made disaster in India. Air pollution pollution adversely affects human health, animals and plants, buildings and atmosphere as a whole. So this is the overall impact of air pollution. Water pollution is caused by the discharge of untreated chemical waste like dyes, detergents, acids, heavy metals like lead and mercury, pesticides, fertilizers and plastic from industries into freshwater bodies like river and lakes. How water pollution is caused? Because these industries are without treating the waste water, they are discharging this water into fresh river waters and lake waters. So industries like dyes, they discharge the dyes, detergents, acids, heavy metals and etc., all these material directly into the water, and that river water we are consuming and we are falling ill. So solid waste like fly ash, phosphogypsum and iron and steel slag also cause water pollution. The consumption or even contact with such polluted water can cause serious diseases to human. The discharge of hot water from thermal power plant into river water before cooling is called the thermal pollution of water. What is thermal pollution of water? So the hot water which is directly discharged into the river, hot water which is discharged from the thermal power plant directly into the river without or before cooling, it is known as thermal pollution of water. This often results in large scale destruction of aquatic life. Each liter of water containing industrial waste pollutes 8 liters of fresh water and makes it unfit for human use. So what is the bad effects of discharging this hot water into the river? Aquatic life gets destroyed, fishes they die, okay, and each liter of water containing industrial waste pollutes 8 liters of fresh water and makes it unfit for human use. So only 1 liter of wastewater from industry, that water if mixed with the other 8 liters of fresh water, okay, then that fresh water is also polluted and that water becomes unfit for human use. With the supply of fresh water already limited, we must take immediate steps to stop water pollution. Some of the waste produced by our industries is too hazardous to be disposed in water. So certain steps have to be taken to stop this water pollution, okay, and those steps are treating the wastewater before discharging it into the river water. Okay, such radioactive waste and chemical waste buried in the soil causes severe land pollution. So what causes land pollution? Burying radioactive waste, hazardous chemicals, non-biodegradable garbage directly into the soil causes land pollution. Other factors contributing to land pollution are dumping of glass, plastic, industrial effluents and other non-biodegradable waste on the land. Rainwater falling on land dissolves and carries many of the pollutants further into the ground and pollutes the groundwater. How groundwater is getting polluted? what happens when rain falls on the land? It dissolves, it gets dissolved into the soil. Not alone the rainwater gets dissolved, along with the rainwater, the dirt, pollution, whatever chemicals are there present in the soil, they also get dissolved into with the rainwater, and that rainwater gets percolated into the ground and gets mixed with the groundwater, and ultimately it pollutes the groundwater reserves. That was water pollution. Now let us see noise pollution. Loud noise can lead to irritation, loss of hearing, and increased blood pressure and heart rate. Industrial machinery construction activity, generators and equipments like saws and pneumatic drills are mainly responsible for noise pollution. So what are the ways to control environmental degradation by industries? So these are the pollutions which we had seen, which are created by industries, manufacturing industries. Okay, so what should be done to control this environmental degradation? One of the most important steps for the control of environmental degradation is treating hot and polluted water from industry before releasing it into rivers and lakes. What should be done to avoid hot water or thermal pollution of water? Okay, you have to treat that water before releasing it into rivers and lakes. So if you can see the treatment done to the wastewater, we will see it in detail. Let us see how such a system works. Wastewater treatment begins by primary treatment, where screens are used to filter out solid waste. The first image, if you can see, it is screening, where the solid waste like bottles and plastic and other things which are visually can be seen, these things are blocked over there in the screening. Only water flows and those things get blocked over there. Okay, this is the primary treatment, where screens are used to filter out solid waste. This is followed by grinding the remaining waste so that the dissolved chemicals separate through the process of flocculation. In the second image, you can see flocculation, where the second and third image, where the water is getting, in the third image, water is getting collected, and further the solid in the water gets grinded and it gets settled down, dissolved in the water, and then it gets settled down. Next, the water is allowed to settle down in the tank so that the solid waste settles down and can be removed as sludge. The secondary stage treatment involves using certain bacteria in wastewater. The next stage is using bacteria. What this bacteria do? These bacteria digest harmful chemical in water through biological process. This is called the biological process, where bacteria bacteria are put in the water, and those bacteria, they drink the chemical whatever they are there in the water, and they easily digest it. This is called biological process. Okay, in the tertiary stage of treatment, the water is gently stirred in large tanks with certain chemicals that further neutralize the effects of harmful chemicals still left in the water. After the treatment, the wastewater can be either recycled for reusing in the industry or safely discharged in rivers and lakes. After the final treatment done to the water, this water can be reused by the industries, or either they can discharge this water into rivers and lakes. Fresh water can also be conserved by rainwater harvesting to meet water requirements for industrial processes, and then recycling treated wastewater to reuse, as explained earlier. At places with limited supply of water, industries overexploit the groundwater reserves to meet the requirements. Legal provisions must be made to regulate the use of groundwater for industrial use. Now, reducing particulate matter. Now it is related to how to control air pollution. The particulate matter in smoke from industries can be greatly reduced by using devices like smokestacks, filters, scrubbers, and electrostatic and inertial separators. These devices remove a large amount of harmful particles from industrial smoke. The emission of smoke itself from industries can be reduced by using more efficient fuels like oil and natural gas in place of coal. So these things can be used instead of coal to avoid air pollution. If you have been to a factory, you would know how difficult it is to talk over deafening sound of machines and generators. So today several types of industrial generators, silencers and sound absorbing materials are available to reduce the noise level in industries. If the noise of a machine cannot be lowered, industrial workers can use earplugs for individual protection of health and hearing. Now this was how to control air pollution and water pollution. Now let us see one of the examples, that is NTPC. Okay, so NTPC is let me tell you the full form of NTPC. What is it? I have written in it, just a second. NTPC, yeah, NTPC is the National Thermal Power Corporation. What is it? What it is? National Thermal Power Corporation. NTCP, National Thermal Power Corporation. It is a major electricity generation and distribution company in India. NTPC is ISO certified for environmental management system 14001 and had demonstrated how conservation of environment and natural resources can happen simultaneously with industrial growth. So NTPC is the example. Basically it is electricity generation industry, and it also distributes its electricity to many companies. It is ISO certified. Why it is ISO certified? ISO has certified it because it works basically simultaneously. It produces electricity simultaneously. It also looks after the environment also. It takes care of environment also. So this is one of the good example which other countries can also implement in their premises. One of the recent success is the use of latest machines and technology that is environment friendly. NTPC has many thermal power plants that burn coal and generate enormous quantities of fly ash. NTPC has minimized this waste by maximizing the use of fly ash for construction and uses. Most of NTPC's power plants are extensive green belts around them. Thus, vegetation cleanses the surrounding air and serves the national purpose of forestation. NTPC has also developed adequate waste management facilities like ash ponds, ash water recycling, and liquid water waste treatment plants. NTPC has adopted a system for continuous ecological monitoring, reviewing, and database management for all its power stations. This brings many environmental problems to notice immediately so that correct actions can be taken. Like NTPC, if other manufacturing industries also apply these methods in their industries, then there won't be any problem of environmental degradation in future, and India will be the cleanest country in the world. So we have to look forward for it. So this is how we have come to an end of this chapter, manufacturing industries. I hope you have understood all the processes, all the types and classification of my manufacturing industries, the effects they have on the environment, and what should be done to avoid our environment getting adversely affected by these industries. So this is how this is the chapter related to manufacturing industries. Please go through all the videos and mark important points in your textbook and the refresher, and try to understand it in a better way. Please don't forget to give me the your likes in the comment section, so that I'll come to know how many of you are watching the industry are watching the videos. Till then, bye.